without a doubt, probably the most exciting thing in business at the moment, and probably the fastest growing segment in business strategy and marketing, is a thing called automation or process automation or AI. AI and automation is making businesses so fast and efficient, and it's taking all of the legwork out of business so that you can focus on doing the stuff that's custom, doing the stuff, the intelligent stuff that really adds benefit to your customers. So automation is being used by companies to grow faster than they ever could have before. And it's getting to the point now where if your business isn't automated, isn't using automation, you will drastically fall behind. It's no longer kind of an option of whether you do it or not. It's now a prerequisite, because if you're not doing it, your competitors' prices are going to get cheaper because they're able to output more work. And you're going to be incapable of lowering the price of your services because you're still doing it the manual way. So you've still got your labor costs. So if you're one of the leaders in your industry, you'll be automating but not lowering your price, meaning you're making more margin, which will allow you to grow even faster. If you're one of the followers in your industry, you'll be automating last, so to keep up with the affordability. And if you don't automate, you simply will not last. So automation should be on the top of every business's agenda to try and automate wherever possible. I mean, I have literally seen teams of hundreds be reduced to teams of tens just by automating their business. And you'll be surprised what can be automated. People constantly say to me, no, our service is highly complex. You know, we sell houses, and there's, you know, houses are so custom, there's no way that can be automated. Well, I'll just simply say that's not true, because everything can be automated. That's where the AI part comes in. We sit down with you and we can work out a logic set that people have to go through in order to purchase your products or services, or what logic pathway do your staff use to deliver a service, and how do we make that logic pathway a simple form, for example, that could be completed even by the customer at the time of purchase, or even if your staff complete that form as part of a process rather than them having to go away and do those things manually. On completion of filling out a form, they could hit enter, and that could automatically produce several documents. So one example is how lawyers and accountants used to produce documents manually, or they might have a template in Word that they would then edit themselves, and then they would then print that Word document into PDF, or print the document out and send it to a client, whatever they would do. Then they would have to get the client to then sign the document in person, or they would send the document, then the client would print that out, then the client would sign it, then the client would scan it, then the client would send it back, then the lawyer would print that out and sign it and scan it and send it back. And all of that work and admin work going back and forth is a huge ordeal. Whereas now, a lawyer can simply talk to the client on the phone and be filling out an online form, hit enter, that can automatically publish a document into PDF, which will send to the client's email, which the client can then digitally sign, hit approved, and then the lawyer digitally signs automatically. The lawyer actually doesn't need to sign it because he's already approved the document. So his signature can go on there automatically every time, for example, and then it can just be printed in the office. So that can save a huge amount of time. And there's thousands of examples of how that can work. And where the lawyer isn't even required to ask the questions can be in the email sent to the client. The client can click and answer those themselves without the intervention of a human. So there's literally unlimited things that can be automated. We have automated the purchasing of an entire home and the customization of a home. The finishes, the colors, all of that stuff can be done online now. So if you're not using automation, you're going to fall behind. So it's something you really need to do. So what this service is the purchase of one kind of automated path, up to 4 automations in this service, and it requires you to have the appropriate technologies that you need for us to be able to do that automation. And we can use automation connectors, for example, like Zapier, So this could be a Zapier automation that we do. There are other tools like Zapier that we also can use if your software isn't Zapier friendly, or we can use hard coding to code things together. But if we have to do hard coding, generally we'll only be able to do one automation for this service. But generally people have, like, for example, a email mailing software. They'll have, like Xero accounting software, and they might have a CRM, and we can do the automation to automate an invoice being sent, for example, and then send an email to the customer saying that thank you for your payment once it's been paid. So that kind of automation, that little automation there would be an example of one automation service that you've ordered from us. So in ordering this service, the first thing that will happen is someone will give you a call and they'll work through what you would like to automate, and we can ensure that it's going to fit within this service budget. And then we can go ahead and automate that for you based on the logic that you need, and then you can test it, make sure it's right, and then we've completed the service. So you can come back and use this automation service as often as you like. A lot of people will have something automated in their business once a month. So this is a regular one that people use often. They're coming back saying, great, now I want to automate this. Hey, Simon, can we now automate this part of the company? Because I find my secretary's time is getting taken up doing this. Or it might be, we'd like to send a bottle of wine to each client. Do you guys know how we can automate that whenever an invoice is paid to automatically send a bottle of wine out? How do we do that? How does the wine automatically get sent? Is there a company that does that? How do we get the labels printed in our brand? How does the thank you letter get written? How do we automate that to happen through a drop shipping company, for example? So there's so many different things that you can do and that you can automate in your business. You just got to come up with the idea first and then speak to us, and we'll work out if we can automate it or not for you. But 9 times out of 10 we can, and there's a solution.